So welcome to Scrum events. Events are activities of importance that happen across a season or at a moment. And Scrum has 5 events. These events are the sprint planning, the daily Scrum, the sprint review, and the sprint retrospective. Each of these events have their own purpose, time, and participants. Now I want to talk about the sprint. Sprints are the heartbeat of Scrum, where ideas are turned into value. Remember that the sprint is a containing event, while the rest of the Scrum events are called the formal events. They are fixed length events of 1 month or less to create consistency. So a sprint could either be 1 month or it can be less, but whatever time the Scrum team and stakeholders have agreed to be the length of the sprint must continue in that consistent order. We cannot start a sprint of 2 weeks, later change our mind to be 1 month. Once we begin at 2 weeks, we have to come back every two weeks to have what we call the sprint review or the sprint retrospective, as it were. A new sprint starts immediately after the conclusion of the previous sprint. All the work necessary to achieve the product goal, including sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective, happen within the sprint. That's why we call the sprint a containing event. So Scrum has 5 events, a containing event, and 4 formal events. The other events are referred to as the formal event, while the sprint is called the containing event. So what happens during the sprint? During the sprint, no changes are made that will endanger the sprint goal. Quality does not decrease. The product backlog is refined as needed, and scope may be clarified and renegotiated with the product owner as more is learned. No changes are made that will endanger the sprint goal. It means that if we've agreed on the sprint goal, we do not do anything to change the sprint goal. As we agree on the sprint goal, during the sprint, we make sure we deliver what was agreed concerning what we intend to accomplish in the sprint goal. Now, unlike other Scrum events, the sprint isn't a meeting. Instead, it is the container for all the work that is done by a Scrum team to achieve a sprint goal. The daily Scrum, sprint planning, sprint review, and sprint retrospective all fall within the sprint, as well as product backlog refinement. Take note that product backlog refinement was not mentioned as an event. However, it has to happen one way or the other during the sprint. But it's a unique activity that occurs, though not a Scrum event, not part of the formal events, and not part of the containing event. It's an important activity that